adaptive intelligence. You searched for more. You wanted to become the best version of yourself. Your search is over. And the technology finally exists. To go beyond limits. Your time has come. Unleash your potential. AQ. Adaptive intelligence.
Driving off to, Jeff?
I'm coming home from Dave's house. I bought some new fenders for the van, and I went over today to go test them and see if they're going to work, and they look like they're going to work well, but it's going to need a lot of fabrication, because I put dually tires on it, so now I have to buy fenders to flare out the bodywork, so I bought those yesterday. So I was over at Dave's, now I'm heading home.
All right. Well, I hope you get there safe. Be careful. So, Flora tells me that she's ready. We're live. And so, welcome everyone that's new. If you guys are watching us on Facebook or YouTube Live, feel free to come in and join us. We're all here on Discord. You can probably see us all. And so, we're going to go ahead and transition into our video for today. It's called Epic Brain Balancing by Dr. Lauren Schreiber. I interviewed her a while ago. And so we're going to go ahead and watch that. We'll have a discussion on that later. So if you guys are watching, you want to come in so you can join in on that discussion, feel free to. And you can also leave comments if you're watching this afterwards as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let Flora take it away, and we'll get started with today's video. And so for everyone that's in here already, go ahead and mute your videos and mute your microphone and click watch stream. And you'll be able to watch that and, adjust your noise settings accordingly. All right, you guys, and we'll come back afterwards. I'll give you the cue.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to AQ Adaptive Intelligence's Thinking Thursdays. Today we have a very intriguing guest who specializes in epic brain balancing with movement. Our guest's name is Dr. Lauren Schreiber. She is a chiropractor, a healer, and a woman of many talents. So Lauren's fascination with chiropractic goes back to neuroscience and neurology. And today she's going to share with us some of the secrets that she's learned through her many years of study in the subject. So part of what she does is to help bring a disorganized brain into greater coherence by allowing the left side of the brain, the more logic-based, the more concrete side of the brain, do what it does best. And then the more artistic side, the more relative side, both function together in a way that is more adaptive, essentially. And the way she does that is a very unique combination of using LED and fire poise to cause the brain to figure out where it is in time-space orientation and then coordinate effectively. So Dr. Lauren herself is a very adventurous person. She's known for doing camping, going out to different locations, going all over the world, and we'll get to hear more about her many adventures in that realm as well, which is actually how she got into this in the first place. And I'm very proud of Dr. Lauren. She's worked with me before with ChiroSynergy, the first company I started, and that's for chiropractors to get together and to go out to different places and to share in a more cohesive and fun environment. So we put together a retreat in the past for chiropractors to the Bahamas, and that was a great success. We had our whole team there, and we had a lot of fun, a lot of great memories. So she's also a staff member for AQ Adaptive Intelligence, and she helps out with our healing retreats, which is more for people of all sorts of backgrounds. This is for lay people. This is for people that are healers, and including other chiropractors, people that love yoga, meditation, biohacking. It's basically a decentralized health hub for everyone to get together and to become better. And so the topic of today's talk is going to be epic brain balancing with movement. And without further ado, I will be bringing to you Dr. Lauren Schreiber. How are you, Dr. Lauren? How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm super excited to share this information. It's one of my passions, and it's been something I've been studying since I was 16 years old, and I'm 32 now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels really good to share something that has taken years and years to do, in-depth research on. So
yeah.
And
I've done a lot of the same research and studying as you. So tell us a little bit about how, like, some of your backstory, like, because I know you've done a lot of studying, but you've also done a lot of adventuring, right? And it's kind of taking you on this path of figuring out that you can balance the brain in this very unique way. Can you tell us more about how that was sparked?
I first got into LED deployment whenever I was attending Logan College of Chiropractic. That was back in 2010 to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the LED poi, I kind of picked it up as a hobby. And then I went into more of the fire poi because I had more of like a spiritual, sensual connection. And I felt like it was more honoring than the rave type of experience. So, yeah. And I do have a video I would like to share with you guys. So it was actually a performance that we did out at Cedar Lake Cellars in Wright City, Missouri. They had an event called Pyromania that was, I think, 15,000 people showed up. And it was their first time ever actually having fire performers there. And so basically what Pyromania is, it's a all-day long event. And people from all over the Midwest come and stay there for the day. They've got kids' activities in the daytime. And then the evening, the big event, is 2 hours worth of synchronized fireworks with lasers. It's basically a competition between different colleges all over the nation. And so in the middle of that 2-hour performance, they had a 30-minute time slot that was like the intermission time. And so myself and then 11 other individuals got together, did some choreography. And I think we had fire poi, fire staff, fire fans. We even had like fire wings.
Wow,
so it was
that's
a really
cool.
Good turnout.
Yeah.
Dr. Lauren Schreiber here, talking about epic brain balancing with movement. My passion lies in fire poi, and I got started back in 2010 whenever I was attending Logan College of Chiropractic out in Chesterfield, Missouri. I picked it up as a hobby, and I first started off with LED poi, and then I moved more towards fire poi because it had more of a tribal, sensual, primal feel to it. And I'd like to go ahead and start with a short video of us performing at a winery in Wright City, Missouri, and it was during the Pyromania event. So I'm going to go and press play.
So tell us about hemisphericity. What is it all about? Like, why are we learning this? Why does it help us?
Yeah, so the hemisphericity. So a lot of people think that they're either left brained or right brain because we talk about, oh, you're left brained or you're right brain dominant. Just because it's common doesn't necessarily mean it's normal. What I've been finding in my research is that the left brain is responsible for certain things that you had mentioned, such as logic, sequencing, linear thinking, mathematics, facts, and thinking in words. Whereas the right brain, it's more for imagination, holistic thinking, intuition, arts, rhythm, nonverbal cues, feelings, visualizations, and dreaming. So it's more of the abstract aspect of the brain. Sometimes when we're right-handed, we tend to be left brain dominant because of the decusations of the pyramidal tracts in the brain. But it's actually not normal to be so heavily one-sided. So they're talking about the brain has qualities to it, but really we use the brain equally on both sides. And so again, on the left brain, it's more verbal, analytical, and orderly than the right brain. It's also sometimes called the digital brain. So it's better at things like reading, writing, and computations. Now, if you want to go to the right brain is going to be more visual and intuitive. So you're thinking artsy people, artsy, lots of color, things that are not concrete. And it's also referred to sometimes as the analog brain. It's more creative and less organized way of thinking. So it's kind of the abstract part of the brain.
But tell us like what you do for it though. Like, so is there a certain technique that you use to achieve balancing the brain? Like, what do you do? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, there's different ways to analyze to see how the body is expressing the neurology. And so I'll do like a lot of orthopedic neurological exams to figure out how the brain is functioning. But there's different rehabilitative exercises. So something that the bioenergetic synchronization technique started was something called the mortar march. And the mortar march is a form of bilateral asymmetrical movement. And that's another reason I still love fire poise, because it's using both sides of the brain asymmetrically. So what I like to recommend to a lot of people, I mean, it's so simple, but just going for a walk for 30 minutes in the morning has amazing capacity to even out both left and right hemispheres. You could go ahead and go rock climbing. That's using both sides of the body asymmetrically at different times. You could spin fire poise. That's going to be bilateral asymmetrical movements as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do to help support a healthy functioning brain so that you can be a super learner, so that you can be at your top of your game, so that you can be at your healthiest that you possibly can. So, and then the poi, apparently it started in New Zealand by the Maori women as a form of entertainment. And then after the entertainment and the dance, I guess the Maori men started using it more of a defensive fighting technique.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah. And then
I would love to see some of that in jiu-jitsu.
Right?
Some MMA with fire. That'd be so cool.
According to Maori researcher, Dr. Karen Perigantai, I believe is how that's said, poi was originally part of the dance section where taper, meaning the house of entertainment, so it's usually just a form of entertainment. And then two early accounts of poi read, in quotes, "One pretty haka they have, in which each performer holds a ball with a short piece of string attached and the different motions given to it, which with greatly rapidity and in perfect time form a pleasing accompaniment to the monotonous dreary sing-song recital. At times, the voice seems to proceed from the heel. It is so deep." And that's from Lieutenant Colonel St. John, 1830. I'll do like a little photo there. So that's a fire breather. That's not fire poi.
Right.
And then the fire fans, that's one that I recently ended up picking up. That's the picture in the center on the top there.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's pretty. Wow.
Yeah, it's like a metal fan that you can hold in both hands, and there's 5 different points of fire. And then the fire poise, where you're going to see on the bottom 2 pictures on the left and the right.
All right, so Lauren, you were telling us about using fire poise to balance the brain. What about that helps you do that?
Okay, so anytime that you incorporate bilateral asymmetrical movements, anytime that you use both sides of the body at different times, that'll go ahead and bring more balance to the left and right cortical hemispheres. So anytime I use my right hand, that incorporates the left brain. And anytime I use my left hand, that uses the right brain. So if you tend to be right-handed, that means you tend to operate in a left brain dominant pattern because you're utilizing this hand more. So it's triggering the neurons in the left brain more frequently. So in order to counterbalance that, so your brain is equal and balanced and everything's all happy, you can use the left hand for grabbing things if you're cooking, or if you're trying to go get something out of a pantry, you can use your left hand for that, to where it's still triggering the neurons in the right side of the brain, to where you've got more cohesiveness overall in the cortex.
Yeah, and there's a really interesting anatomical reason why that's important. And if you study anatomy in detail, especially within neurology, you see that the brain, when it sends its connections to the rest of the body, it actually does this crisscross. So it goes, this part of the brain versus this part of the brain, and they kind of cross. They cross over like this. So like what you're saying, and the same thing applies also to the legs too, right? I think we're just talking about how the anatomically it crosses over, right?
Yeah, was it the corpus callosum in the brain? I think that's it.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, the decussation happens.
Well, yeah, fair. Depends on which track and where at. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it depends where.
Because some decusate in the cord, some decusate in the brain. Yeah.
Yeah. So anatomically speaking, that's very important. And so that's why you incorporate balance, because like when you do these things, you also have to move around, right? So maybe sometimes you'll be staying on one leg, or you'll be spinning something one way and then the other thing the other way, right? And then you'll cross them over. So it challenges the brain, right? And whenever the brain is challenged, it needs to adapt. It needs to basically change its neurons in a certain way to where it can now do the thing that it couldn't do before, or it couldn't do it very well. Neurology is wired for adaptation. That is what it's for. Challenging it in this way, makes it basically sprout new connections. It helps it develop in new patterns. So
more neuroplasticity,
more neuroplasticity, exactly. So that's why this is important. And same thing with, I've noticed, people that are geniuses, they tend to, or most quantum physicists, they're also musicians as well. They're always playing their guitar, and that's how they do their break, right? So they're doing all this math stuff for a long time, then they go, okay, and I want to go play my instrument. But that helps with the bilateral movements, right? Because when you're strumming this way, but then you're doing this, you're challenging the brain in different ways, right? So what are other things that you do to help facilitate that, make it a little bit more challenging? Because at a certain point, it becomes kind of easy to do fire point, I'm sure. I've never tried myself, but eventually it does become easier, right?
There's a lot of different techniques for sure. And so with anything there, you could always learn something new. You could always create something. Just make it as fun as what you possibly want to. In addition, other ways that I support neural health, aromatherapy. You could do breathing peppermint essential oil through the left nostril will help hyperactivate the right cortical hemisphere.
Interesting. Interesting. Wow.
And the limbic system is going to be most closely associated to the emotional system. So if you're trying to remember something, let's say if you're studying for a test, or you're trying to remember, get a healthy routine started in your morning. So an attitude of gratitude sort of thing. You could actually do essential oils with that meditation process to help trigger that emotional response in your body and actually catalyze the repatterning of the brain more effectively. So I definitely use sense for that.
Yeah, and that's another great way to biohack, which actually I remember this from school. Or if you do want to remember something, it goes instantly into your long-term memory. Because normally when you learn something, you see a bunch of facts and you have to try to memorize it, and then it gets stored in your short-term memory. And then, you go to bed, you reconsolidate, and now it's long-term memory. But with smell, it's instant. So when you smell something, you remember that long-term.
Yep.
And that's a good hack, a good way to memorize a bunch of things, but using smell. Because you're circumventing that neurological process.
And it's so closely connected. Yeah, it's a great tool to have.
And I look forward to us using that at the healing retreats as well, integrating all these things together to help people break through different patterns that they've been stuck in, or helping develop new patterns that they want to see in their life. Using these types of intermodalistic approaches is very useful, and it's a very powerful combination. At the healing retreat, can you give us, not too much, but give us some of the things that you're looking forward to with your part of the interactive in the healing retreat?
I'm excited to share the different techniques that I've stumbled across over the last decade, because not everyone gets exposed to the same information as they go throughout chiropractic college. And even if they were aware of the best technique, the bioenergetic synchronization technique, you might not be aware of the mortar march. And so I'm stoked to be able to finally share all the things that I've accumulated over the years with people who feel like it would be valuable to adding into like their own tool belt.
Okay, so are there any final parting words that you'd like to give to our viewers on YouTube, or actually we're recently going to start something on Clubhouse. That's this new interactive verbal platform. So we'll be doing some stuff for AQ on there as well, and sharing the messages that we've had through all these months and years almost. We're going to go ahead and go into the discussion part. We'll be doing a Q&A session with Dr. Lauren, and we can ask her all of our many questions.
I feel like
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a short today. You guys can go ahead and come back, and you can turn your videos on and unmute yourself, and we'll just kind of go around round robin because we got a lot of new people. So those of you who did watch the video either for the first time or second time, let us know what you thought of it. And everybody who like missed it because you came in late, don't worry. We do have that video also on YouTube. If you go to our YouTube channel and you go to Epic Balancing or Epic Brain Balancing, that's that video. Feel free to watch that whenever you want. But now we're going to go back into open discussion. So if you guys are still watching us on YouTube Live or Facebook Live, go ahead and come in and join us. So for everyone that's here, though, you can go ahead and close the live stream, and we'll kind of go around and say what we thought of the video. So Jeff, what did you get from that? I know, were you there for the first time we did that one or no? Or Julie, I don't know if you were there either.
I remember it was like one of
Yeah, I was there.
I liked it a lot. I had to go in and order, and then my phone was dying. So, but I remember she talked a little bit about ADD, and I asked a question, and I'm definitely going to go back and watch it because I'm really interested in what she does. And I've been to one of those, maybe not exact with the fire things. They're really mesmerizing.
Yeah, they're definitely fun to watch. I wish I had that talent. It looks really cool.
I know.
I guess a good way to practice is to use the LED poise, which she was talking about, where it's like the same thing but with flashing LEDs.
Yeah. So then I had watched others and I thought it was fire, but a lot of times it isn't. So it's deceiving. But yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I went to a work site where people lived on buses, and they did they would sit around the campfire, and they did stuff like that. It was really interesting, and I taped the whole thing.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. I only have maybe a couple of videos, but yeah.
Oh yeah, send it my way. I'll watch it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I know Jeff has some videos
when
too.
You
on
start,
YouTube.
Right? What?
Oh, I said, yeah, I know Jeff has some videos on YouTube too. They're kind of silly, right, Jeff?
I want to start, but I don't want my family.
Sometimes.
I want to watch you. Send me your link.
Okay, I'll try to remember to do that.
Okay, or I could
Let me see.
do it to the group, and no, I would like to.
Most of them are pretty dumb, frankly, but there's
Really?
there's some that is fun.
Well, it's all about your energy. Like when you've got spot on energy, you can just you're in the flow state. It works, and sometimes it doesn't. Do you find that?
I make these the right way.
He's choppy. I don't know if he's choppy on your guys'.
Choppy, yeah. I'm guessing you're saying you're just trying to make it, just for. He froze.
Yep. He might be in traffic or something.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm having a hard time getting. Yeah, sorry guys.
That's okay. You can go ahead and say what you're gonna say. You can try again. Maybe it was just going through a power line or something.
Oh yeah, I've said this forever, and it's not like me. I wanted to do a channel, but I don't want the criticism from my family because we're so divided. So YouTube shoots to BitChute, but I thought they're probably not going to watch just BitChute, correct?
BitChute streams to what?
So when you do a video, I don't know if you know this. Oh, join Statcast. It's a heavy day. I was supposed to go out there, but she said no. I'm sorry. She's one of my best friends. Okay, so what was I just saying? Sorry.
You were saying something about streaming?
Oh yeah. So when you do a video on YouTube, they automatically send it to BitChute. So it's kept there, and BitChute is less stringent. So if YouTube takes you down, you'll be kept on BitChute. If I'm wrong, please fact check me.
Fact check you, yeah. Get all the fact checkers to check you.
Overseas.
We'll do a pat down of all your facts.
What?
They'll do a pat down of all your facts.
Right. I've been told a few times. Yeah, it's like no, because I've watched independent news for 2 years now, so they always say, "Well, if it's taken down here, you can always watch it at BitChute."
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean, I've put up a number of YouTube videos, but I think you have to allow BitChute to receive YouTube videos. If you do that, then that would probably happen. But if you don't allow it, then it won't.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, YouTube doesn't automatically send every video that they get to BitChute.
Oh, they don't?
No.
They pick and choose?
Well, you can allow BitChute to upload your YouTube videos, but that doesn't automatically happen. That's my understanding.
I'll have to do some research. I want a group, but I don't want my sister, my mom, my dad, I don't want to hear the guff.
Right.
Ain't got time for it. So that's what's holding me back, and that's ridiculous because that's not a lot of. I don't have a huge family, right? And I think you just have to keep trying. Right? You suck. For everybody says that you suck, and then you get in the groove, and I've seen it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of what people think because there's always going to be naysayers out there. But that's not who you're focused on. It's the people that matter that you should be focused on. It's
the truth. Yeah, I had some up, and then I took them down. But I think Instagram keeps them anyway, because I'm like, I thought I took that down. And then if you watch it, it'll string all your videos, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I took that down. So, yeah.
I think Instagram is owned by Facebook, I think, and Facebook actually dropped by $200 billion or something, like in one go. Yeah, it's like
what happened there? Was it like the stock, like the stock price? You mean?
Yeah, I think something like that. Oh. It's been. I mean, I don't know exact figures, but they're
tanking.
Well, they're people are not happy with a lot of things that Facebook's doing.
For a long time, I wanted to quit, but I do like to see like my nieces and like the older folk, they're not going to go to BitChute. It's too much. Maybe they do. I don't know. Most won't, right? Because it's like, it's scary.
Right.
If I ask my dad, I will show and it won't be anything that you won't like. It's funny. He would get all nervous to go to BitChute. Like, it'd be too much.
Well, yeah, from my understanding, like I tried to upload our YouTube to BitChute just in case to have a backup, but it does take a long time, and like it has to like do its own verification process, and it just takes forever. I don't even know if my videos actually like got uploaded to BitChute or not.
I'll have to look.
Yeah,
but they're more tolerant. I mean, I see like one of them I watch is banned videos, and I've seen like pharmacists that are like, I just quit my job today. I work for CVS. And you see this package insert? This ain't normal. See these links, lads? And she had a lot to say, and it was up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like about BitChute. But yeah, I don't know how people are managing to. I don't know why it's not working on my end. I don't know.
Not Rumble? I don't know. I'll find something.
Yeah. If
There's
you find anything, let me
Rumble
know.
and Odyssey.
Rumble is what Trump is using for his. Do you guys know?
No.
I didn't know.
True. Well, he's having his own. You can say what you want. You don't have to be Republican. There's no censoring. He's following. Well, we really never had a constitution, but if we did, he's going with that. So, but they bug you like 10 times a day for money. It's a little. Yeah.
Well, what do you expect? It's Trump. He's only interested in one thing.
I know, but it's supposed to be big. It's like a lot of people that did the news dropped out. They're going to be on it, and I could be wrong, but it's supposed to be big.
Well, there's an app that's similar to that called Locals. That one lets you that one lets you like have your platform, and like you can decide what content is free and what content you want people to like donate for. I was looking into that. I haven't fully like gone into it yet, but I think that'd be interesting. About it. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting to try out. I'll have to play with it.
Like you could have fluff, and then you could have more edgy that you would pay. Yeah,
like basically like all the things that like basically YouTube would allow, you can let that be free, and then things that YouTube would ban, you just make it pay to watch. You know,
a lot of people do that on YouTube, but then they'll end up doing a website, which you could probably do it, but
yeah. I mean, right now I do have my website, and the videos that I have are linked to that, but it's through YouTube though, so it's still like the YouTube problem, you know.
Exactly, I know.
Yeah. So it would be nice to have like something where you can just like upload and then know that it's there.
So, is it just you that it's linked that way because of the way you set it up because you didn't know, or because I thought these guys were like, no, I have my own place. If everything goes down, you can find me here. You know, they beg you, just do it now before.
Well, yeah, they usually do that to get you to go to their web, try to like look at their products and stuff. Yeah, that's why they kind of push for that. Normally you wouldn't have to.
I feel weird about it, but everybody's got to make money. You put it. Videos they look easy. They're not.
Yeah, it's not. It's super time consuming and super difficult. Yeah, it's not the easiest. It's not a walk in the park for sure.
No.
But yeah, I mean, there's newer options coming out. There's even a new platform that's like crypto based called OmniFlix that's gonna let you have like NFTs and then like social media and like NFTs. It's really interesting. Yeah, so it's like a function of crypto basically.
Oh, okay.
It's like those little JPEGs that people pay like millions of dollars for. Like you probably heard about that. Yeah, those are like NFTs.
I don't.
You don't heard
with
that?
Finances, and then my dad, like, he lost a lot of money in the stock market, so he's angry, and so everything is bad. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. He probably bought in kind of late.
He did.
Yeah,
he bought in right before, January coronavirus, like that, January 20.
Oh, but it went up since then.
Parkinson's third stage drug that failed in the third stage.
Wow. But yeah, that's interesting because like I remember like the stock market was like kind of like midway, and then it crashed for Corona, and then it just like skyrocketed upwards. I'm surprised he lost money.
Too quick. I go, I'm stupid than that, and I'm like, you never sell. I because he was a big stock market guy, and so he did teach me some things.
Yeah. But well, the number one, at least for me, like the number one rule of investing is don't sell when it goes down. Just wait. You gotta be patient. If you're not patient, you pay the price.
I know.
Yeah,
I know I have to do something. At the time, I didn't have the money, but I am going to do something.
Yeah.
When I get it.
Yeah, I would still say like, stocks are okay if you're like
not stocks.
If you're not stocks.
Gold, crypto, but I need to go to classes on that or read your book.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely crypto is I think the best because like gold, like it can be robbed, like people can just break into your house and take it.
Right.
It's hard to transport because it's really heavy, and like people are going to ask questions when they see you like big bars of gold.
He said you don't have to have it in your home, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
who do you trust? Who do you trust?
Right. Yeah, they have like these vaults in like Singapore or whatever. Exactly. Yeah, that actually happened to France. Like back in the I think it was back in like the Nixon era
right? Like how the U.S. had a lot of gold, and we had like the
Right.
dollars. The dollar was like kind of like backed by gold, but you could store your gold in the United States. So, but you could claim it, right? So France basically was like, hey, we want our gold. And so that shortly thereafter, that's when we came off the gold standard, because basically they didn't want to give the gold back to France. And that's what we just unpegged. Yeah, that was a bad decision in the long term. But yeah, weird history there. But so anyone that's still watching on the live streams, if you want to keep continuing our conversation, please go ahead and come in. We're on Discord, so just follow the link into our hub. Go ahead, click into our hub and go into the Discord. You'll see the little Discord logo. We're on there. So go ahead and join us. We're going to go ahead and end the live streams, or we're going to go ahead and go into private discussion time. So I'm going to let Flora